van de Nederlandse editie. Dit is Morten Hoy uit Zwitserland, namens de sponsor Imago. Ik zal kort even wat paar zaken toelichten en kan Morten straks ook het programma even toelichten, want klein aanpassen. RISE bestaat sinds 2006 in het thuisland van Nick Rijgaard, de initiator van het RISE Festival. Hij is helaas dit keer niet bij. Sinds 2006 in Australië, Nieuw-Zeeland draait het al met heel veel succes. En sinds 2 jaar in Europa en in meer dan 25 steden, van Finland tot Slovenië. Dus dat is echt een bijzonder mooi succes.
Your buddy's fishing in the front and you're rowing and he is covered up in cast and he cannot take a breath. That is what describes the insects on the mow.
The hatches here are, you know, super prolific. You just don't see the hatches on a daily basis like you do on the Missouri, or the intensity.
Look at the bugs. Simon, you got the bugs? The caddis are unbelievable. The yellow sallies, which they really don't eat on top, are unbelievable.
Water and sucking a fly down. It's something that gets your heart racing. It's right here.
It's easy to tell, you know, when you got a big sipper on the Missouri, because he's just making the slightest dimple.
Colon capitalism are the names of the game civilization is left with. 55% of Americans unhappy with their jobs, 20% of the population diagnosed or experiencing clinical depression, and a 9% unemployment rate. We are stressed as a people. We need to learn how to breathe again.
I was in Ubon, Thailand, and I was 25 miles from Cambodia and 26 miles from Laos. I was there in 1970, at the tail end of the Tet Offensive, when Nixon halted the bombing in North Vietnam, but whoops, he forgot to tell everybody about Cambodia and Laos. The first 4 months I was there, it was pretty wild. We were getting hit a lot. Told my counselors that I've been to, I never did any drugs for depression or anything like that. I fly fished. That was my Prozac. Look at that, man.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a pure rainbow there, boy. Love seeing that. All right, darling. And when you do put that fish back in the water and it swims away, what's the first thing?
It's a tickliac. Every time you sit down. I don't know anything else, any other spot or any other sport or hobby or passion where you will constantly meet interesting people. Someone always have a story. Tell you what, in banking they don't. They don't. Oh God, I could stand up sleeping sometimes. But out here, I just get stuck listening to people. You're with people that have different preferences than the average people on the street.
Very many places like these left. True frontiers that have a sense of wildness to them. Since the old days, folks have ventured into these rugged parts of the world. Some to loot the golden riches hidden below. Others to plunder the sparkling streams for their silvery bounty. To some men, though, those shiny fishes ain't nothing but grub for the grizzly bear. Some such men play a part in this little yarn I'm spinning. Obsessed, restless ones, heeding to the call of the wild. In this here particular case, the call comes from a place way yonder, far from snow-capped peaks and gushing rivers, from a country poor in vistas, but richer in woeful tales. Now, a little while back here, in this vast, grim and lone backcountry, a hassle came about. What follows is my true account of a conflict between Native Americans Americans and tundra-crazed cowboys with a bunch of blue-eyed fly fishers caught in the middle.
Basic idea of fly fishing to me is a challenge. Centuries ago, someone came up with the idea of catching fish the hardest way possible.
Barren and slighted wetlands in search of monster pike, but we got a lot more than we bargained for.
That's my backyard.
Water is the element that most influences mankind. It covers 70% of our planet and makes up 90% of our body mass. We need it to drink, and inevitably, we live beside it. Is it any wonder then that we're fascinated by the creatures that live in our rivers, lakes and oceans? Nymphs ascend from the gravel to the surface film. The skin splits down the back and out pops the dun. The dun is not an adult, but an intermediate stage unique in the insect world. A teenager, if you like. Food. None too bright. When they run out of height, cicadas are left with little choice but to take to the wing. Something they're not particularly good at. A cicada has the nutritional value of 50 mayflies, and even for a giant backcountry trout, that's a decent meal. Early afternoon till dusk, and when it gets going, it's one of the most dramatic in the world. Unfortunately, the hatch is as unpredictable as it is spectacular. Pavel and his friends know all about the frustrations of this hatch. The first duns don't actually start popping until 7 PM, just a couple of hours before dark. Any single-minded trout. As evening progresses, the hatch intensifies and the spinners take to the air. The adults, shiny and vibrant, come swarming back over the river in huge crowds. Of passion. Finally, the insects exhaust themselves and the spinners fall spent to the surface. This is what anglers refer to as a blanket hatch. The fish feed furiously, but what chance is there of the angler's artificial being selected from thousands of naturals? Insects evolved on continents and islands and have pretty much stayed there. They're completely absent from beneath the surface of the ocean. This is because crustaceans, the animals most closely related to insects, originated in the open sea and have maintained a massive competitive advantage ever since. River currents. All manner of marine fish find concentrations of krill hatchlings along the seams of oceanic currents. All sorts of oceanic fish congregate to feed on the krill hatch. Down mouth, and they're forced to porpoise in order to feed off the surface. Fish feeding from the surface on accumulations of arthropods. The very same thing that inspired the naturalists of England to develop fly fishing has inspired a new generation of naturalists to redefine what it means to be a fly fisher.
I'm Kevin Leslie. I've been carving wood since I was 12 years old.
So we're going deep in the jungle this morning.
The jungles, you can't wait for farm.
Whatever I told you to look out for, you got to look out for it. If I told you to don't touch that tree, don't touch it.
You let me do a bar like boss. Why can't you put me as a show? I want to my keys. So everybody will do it to me. Show me where you tell me you have a car. You can't look for me.
Every bone in my body is stiff except one.
The weather has been either rainy or just blazing us. It's like being a wet
We got 20 more feet across the ocean. We spent the better half of about a week or so dealing with our vehicle being stuck. The lagoons that we checked out didn't really turn out to be what we were expecting.